Hello, beautiful Virgos. Welcome in, welcome back, welcome to my channel. I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. Today we are doing a coffee cup and cards for the first part of December, the 1st through the 15th-ish. Could be a few days before, a few days after, however it resonates for you. So we are getting into December, the Christmas and holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate in December. So I'm using my Christmas spray from Angelic Celestial Colors, just to get into the kind of feeling of the Christmas season. That's what I celebrate, so that's kind of what I relate to. We are going to do your coffee cup, and then we are going to do some oracle cards, a tarot spread. I'll pull the tarot cards live with you, and then an animal oracle. So let's get right into it. December 4th is going to be a full cold moon in Gemini. Around that time, you may be pulled in two different directions. Around the 4th, very beginning of December, you may have some decisions to make. You may feel out of sorts one day and high on a mountaintop the next, because Gemini is the twins, and they have sometimes two different personalities. So be aware of that. Please do give the video a like, a thumbs up, a share, a comment. It's the only thing that I ever ask. And I keep doing this because, of people who watch the videos, obviously. And as some of you may know, I did take a hiatus to take some classes, to go on a trip with my husband for our anniversary. And I put up readings for earth, water, air, and fire with some individual card pulls for the end of November. Those have gotten very few views thus far. So I am still on the fence about whether I'm going to continue on YouTube. TikTok seems to get, 100 or so views for each thing that I post. When I put shorts on YouTube, they get a lot of views. I don't know if people just aren't interested in these long videos anymore, or what. But it takes a lot of time and effort and concentration and focus to do these. So please like the video to help it get going around YouTube. All right, I will stop now. Please remember, this is collective. It's not a one-to-one. I'd be more than happy to do a one-to-one, either live on Zoom or pre-recorded, where I send you the link. The prices for that, those are in the description box. All you have to do is email me. All right, let's get to it. Okay, all right, for my beautiful Virgos. Looks like there's a lot of liquid in there. Oh, yeah, splashing all over the desk. Okay. Okay, I gotta wipe that so it doesn't get all over my clothes, since I have to go to work after this. Okay, let's put the plate aside. All right, my beautiful Virgos, here we go, beginning of December. There is an overview look at your cup here. Okay, let's see. What was I saying about being on top of a mountaintop one day and feeling down the next? You look at that valley. Peaks and valleys, right? All around the cup. So take that on board and really think about it. All right, let's see. Okay, Spirit, what do you have for us? There are several little coffee grounds on the edge. You could be a little on edge in the beginning of December for whatever reason. That's what I'm hearing. You could be feeling a little bit on edge. It could be because of the holidays, holiday shopping, commitments, saying yes to everybody who asks you, and maybe you get a little bit depleted. I see a distinct frog right there. You can see his googly eyes and his smiling face and his little feet down there. Frogs do represent prosperity, but frogs also hop from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. When you think about that and thinking about your commitments, Virgo, so please really think about what you're saying yes to, and remember that it's okay to say no if you're overextended, okay? I know a lot of us, a lot of you probably have jobs where the end of the year is significant and you have to get a whole bunch of things done for work. So try to keep that in mind, and don't let yourself get depleted or used, or don't overdo it, because your job, unfortunately, those of us who are in the workforce, we know that we can be replaced by the next person who comes along. All right, let me see here. Spirit, what are you trying to show me there? I see like a person with several things. It's juggling plates. Okay. I think you've had this before. This message is real. Okay, so you see there's a person there and all these things above. They're kind of looking up. It almost looks like they're on stilts and they're trying to juggle. So Virgos, I know this is the same thing I just said, but Spirit is kind of driving it home in the beginning of December, 1 through 15-ish, or even committing to things beyond that. Be careful about what you are committing to, because you could end up making yourself miserable. All right, let's see. Yeah, oh my gosh. I'm just getting that overwhelmed feeling, that overwhelming feeling. Now here, they're showing me there's like a corkscrew. I think you can see that. There's like a corkscrew and it's turning down into a person, tightening it up and pressing down. And so I really get this feeling of overwhelm. And that takes all the joy out of living, right? When we're overwhelmed. All right, let's see. What else do we have? I see, I don't know why, I see Pikachu. It's very tiny. I don't know if Pikachu in the Pokemon means something to some of you, but I'm seeing Pikachu. All right, Virgos, let's see. I see a church with a steeple, very distinct, down here in the cup. I don't know if some of you are churchgoers or if you're attending a wedding or something at a church, but I see that. I see the steps going up, the door, the steeple. I see a big, like a stained glass window, like at the top. I'm seeing that. So maybe some of you are attending something. It could also be a funeral. So keep that in mind. Don't get stressed out or weighed down or what have you. If it is a funeral, remember that our souls don't die. We just move on to a different dimension. What on earth is that? Okay. Some sort of animal. Spirit, what is that? I think it's an owl. Is that an owl? Yes. Okay. Owl represents wisdom, birds of prey, nighttime. If any of you see owls or have seen an owl, that's your guides trying to reach out, trying to get in touch. When you see an owl, if you see one, pay attention to what you are doing right at that time. What are you doing? Where are you going? What's on your mind? Okay. Spirit is trying to reach out. Now I see a snowman. That could be fun, right? Bringing in some joy. Okay, I see another owl sitting on a tree branch. Okay, owls, very important right now to pay. I see a third owl. That's so weird. I saw 3 cats in the Taurus reading. Now I see 3 owls in your reading. All right, let's see. Anything else? What is this? Spirit, what is that? All right, so in the bottom of the cup, they're telling me flower. See that right there? It looks, it could be a sunflower. It could be a mandala because of the little points. I don't know if some of you have purchased something or have something that's like a mandala. They're telling me to pay attention to that, use it, gaze at it, meditate with it. If it's a sunflower, same thing. If you have sunflower, they're telling me to use that to ground yourself and meditate. The mandala, the sunflower, whatever it is. I'd love to know in the comments. Okay. I'm just focusing on. It looks like a sugar skull or this doesn't make any sense though. Day of the Dead is gone by. That's November. What are you telling me? Spirit, what is this? It's a very highly decorated skull, like with a wreath on top of its head. Like, you see it right there? I'm pretty sure you can. It's a skull. I see the teeth, the eyes, and right on top of the head is like a crown or a wreath. I don't know what that means. If that and this skeleton sugar skull, I can see the arms and a cloak, a highly decorated cloak. I don't know what that means. Is there something about something around December that has to do with skulls or skeletons or something like that wearing a decorated cloak? I don't know. I'm giving you what Spirit is showing me. I have no idea what that is. I'm going to have to Google it. Okay, let's see what's down here. All right, looking at the bottom, we saw the flower, the mandala. Now I see birds kind of taking flight here. Birds taking flight. Ideas, they're telling me. Ideas taking flight. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. All right, what is in the bottom? Anything besides the mandala? They're saying broccoli. I don't know what. Broccoli is full of vitamin C, and it's really good to eat broccoli in the winter because it's high in vitamin C. I don't know if that means anything. Maybe some of you don't like broccoli, and they're trying to say eat it raw or cooked, however you can. Broccoli. All right, Spirit, okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay. It looks like that's it for messages for the cup. Now your plate, this is, okay. Okay, Spirit, what do we have here for the plate? It's a lot of liquid in that plate. Already, to me, the big one looks like a crow or a raven. That big long beak there. It could also be, what are those birds? Kiwis, right? Those kiwi birds. I don't know. Are some of you, kiwis are what? Australia? New Zealand? Gosh, Lisa. I am geographically challenged. I'm getting the feeling of a hot climate with a kiwi bird. I have no idea how that will relate to you, Virgos. Maybe some of you have, I don't know, relatives, friends, a trip planned to Australia or New Zealand. It's going to drive me nuts because now I need to look up online what is the, where does the kiwi bird live? New Zealand. Okay. So I don't know if some of you, as I said, have friends or family in New Zealand, but I'm really getting, yeah, and now that I see the picture, the kiwi bird is native only to New Zealand where it inhabits various environments. They can be found in remote forests, scrublands, grasslands, and exotic forest plantations. There are 5 distinct species of kiwi. Okay, so, yeah. All right. Anything else in this cup? Something about New Zealand may have a meaning for some of you Virgos. Oh, jeepers. The coffee grounds are all over the place here. I feel like it's kind of showing that, I know the kiwi bird looks giant compared to the rest of this, but like a big sun, hot, dry climate. Like sitting in a tree in this hot, dry climate. I don't even know if the climate is hot and dry in New Zealand, honestly. I'm not getting a lot of other feelings about this. Let me see if anything else pops up. If you see something, please put it in the comments. If you see something that I'm missing, or, obviously I'm an intuitive reader. I rely on my guides to tell me what they want me to tell you. I see a person sitting in a chair. There is a person sitting in a chair. Right under that is a person doing their hair. Someone sitting in a chair and someone doing their hair. That rhymes. That reminds me of Dr. Seuss. sitting in a chair doing their hair. Could be getting ready for some sort of party or gathering. Anything else about this? I'm just not, that's what I feel like the bigger message here was something about New Zealand, right? And I'm sorry if that, I'm sure that's not going to apply to everyone, but it is important for somebody, right? All right, and as I said, this is a collective. Okay, all right, my beautiful Virgos, let's move on. So you're an earth sign, so we use the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed and the Earth Magic by Stephen D. Farmer. So the overview card that came out is Spirit of Place. Spirit of Place. This is a beautiful card. This is a number 4, stability or stagnation. She has different types of leaves around. She has a butterfly right on her face, right? She looks almost like an elf with her ears there pointed. She's kind of merging with the tree. All right, let's see what this is all about. Spirit of Place. Authenticity is the essence of power. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it. Just as we have a soul, the plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essence. When the spirit of place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. Remember how I was saying if you see an owl, stop and think about, look around, where are you, what are you doing? This kind of is backing that up. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. Very hard for Virgos to do as they are perfectionists. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than longing for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. So Virgos, if there's something that you've been wondering about, perseverating on, thinking about, you may want to tune in so that you can get an answer, right? So that you can feel the answer. And then don't doubt what you get. Just ask your guides to give you an answer and then listen and take the answer. Don't sit there and analyze it and say, well, did I really hear that? Did they really say that? Yes, they did. Okay? If you're tuned in, they did. Forest. Breath. Look at that beautiful, beautiful forest. The flowers on the forest floor, all the different colors of the green trees and some fall colors mixed in. There is also a bird or a couple of birds flying through there. Take a breath. As we make our way across the meadow to the thicker parts of the forest, there's subtle shift in the sensations in the body. One that might initially be barely perceptible but soon becomes undeniable. This is another message about tuning in, right? Okay. It's nearly impossible not to take deeper breaths. The richness of the forest oxygen given freely and generously from the trees, the standing ones, to us is a natural exchange for the carbon dioxide we release. Every time, sorry about that, we exhale. Further, the animals of the forest participate in this exchange as well, in what is one of the most miraculous and remarkable collaborations between plants and animals that serve to help each other live and thrive. Through prayer and action, we can express our gratitude to these tree beings for the many gifts they provide, not the least of which is contributing to the very air that we breathe. Things are different after a walk in the forest. This is a long, long message because trees are one of the most important things that we have. Your breathing is too shallow. Although it may feel natural, it is an unhealthy habit that causes this shortness of breath. When you subconsciously shorten your breath, no matter if this is habitual or triggered by some event or circumstance, it activates certain physiological signals that prepare your system for fight or flight. Okay, pay attention to your breathing. Okay, get around some plants, trees, nature, and take deeper breaths. Breathe Inhale deeply regardless of your concerns, worries, or problems. Then let it go. Deep breathing, deep breaths. And you have 2 cards showing trees, okay? Nature. Very, very important. Okay, this is becoming a very long reading. That's okay. All right, Virgos, we're going to get into the tarot portion where I told you that I'm going to be pulling these cards live on camera. I can't pull all the cards live because it makes the reading too long, and then it just takes too long to upload. Okay. Gosh, I keep forgetting one. All right, Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. All right, what is the tarot portion of this message? We've already had some very deep messages in the coffee cup, the plate, and with the oracle cards. What is the tarot message to go along with all of that? Wow, flew right out. 3 of Swords. Moving towards a clean slate when it comes to conversations that you've had with someone. You could have had I'm hearing like a disheartening conversation with somebody. Could be even the breaking off of a friendship or relationship that you've had or are going to have, Virgos. So be on the watch for that. So 3 of Swords, that's communication, thoughts. You could also be piercing your own heart with your thoughts of just tuning in for a minute. Anger, grief, despair, disappointment. I'm feeling like you're beating yourself up too much because you're trying to be perfect, that is a Virgo trait, okay? Don't do that. You need to look back at all you've accomplished in 2025, everything that you've done, and you've done plenty. If you sat down with a notebook and a pen, or even at the computer, and just started asking your guides, what have I done in 2025? Show me, tell me, what have I accomplished? I'm sure that you'd get quite a message. Okay, the World is the ending of the tarot reading. I love it. All right, let's see. So you're starting, and this is the Forest Tarot. Sorry, I didn't say that. You're starting out with the 3 of Swords. This is a heart with swords through it, but you see the fire is still burning deep down inside in the middle of that heart. That is your spark. That is your God spark, your source spark, your life spark, your soul. Okay, I really feel like the message today, right now, for you for the beginning of December is to stop beating yourself up, right? Stop going to those places of disappointment in yourself. You need to remember that things take time, right? Sometimes they move slower than we want. But look at the next card, 8 of Wands. Wands, action, passion, hitting the mark, moving fast. So after you go through possibly a period of woes or getting the poor me's, oh, I'm sorry, I have to give you what they give me, you are going to have some sort of opportunity to get to something very quickly. I don't know if it's finishing a class or teaching a class or just finishing something up. You're going to get there really fast and you're going to be surprised. You're going to be like, wow, I can't believe I did that so quickly. And then you have the beautiful Hanging Man being comfortable in his excuse me, being comfortable in his own skin and seeing things in a different perspective. This is what that 3 of Swords calls for. See it differently. See the things that you have done and not the things you haven't done. And yeah, just as I was saying earlier, Knight of Pentacles, slow moving forward action. Okay, so now they're giving, for some of you, you're going to feel like you want to charge ahead and do something, but you need to stop, see it from all angles, and then move on a little slower than you planned. This is what I'm hearing. Move a little slower than you planned. Stop beating yourself up. When you get charged up and ready to go, make sure that you have what you need before doing it, because you're going to want to move on and walk on a little slower than what you planned, okay? Something could come in to slow you down. It could be money, because Pentacles are about how you earn your living, okay? So I feel almost like you're getting kind of down in the dumps, and then some idea comes to you, or somebody comes to you with something. You're like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then Spirit wants you to stop, slow down, see it from a different perspective, and really look at it before you move on. Look at it with truth, because then you have the Page of Swords, right? Swords, one sword. This is truth. Pages are novices or new at what they're doing. They're also messengers, right? So get the message from your guides, Virgos, okay? Make sure you take in and tune in. Like the tree messages and your oracle messages were saying, you need to stop and tune in before you charge forward with something, right? Because you don't want to get hurt or hurt anyone else in the getting to the goal, right? You will get there, because the next card is the World. This is 21. This is a 3, creation and collaboration. Your reading started with a 3. Your tarot portion started with a 3 and ended with a 3. Remember those around you that can help you, that can collaborate with you, that you can lean on, those that think the way that you think, in order to get to this world, which is completion, right? The world is completion, completing that cycle, getting all the way to the end. And then what they're showing, this is so funny, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what they're giving me is this. Okay, finish that, got it done, wiping my hands clean, I'm all done with that. That's what I was feeling and hearing. Your animal oracle is the Lion. 29. This is 11. Very powerful master number. Be a courageous leader and lead with pride, right? You're leaving behind those doubts and you're leading with pride. Leave it behind, lead, right? Leave it behind and lead. I love that. Remembering the spirit of place and the forest. Breathe through all of these challenges, my beautiful Virgos. Well, I truly hope that this has helped in some way. Please give it a like, a thumbs up, a share. I would really, really appreciate that so very much. And until next time, peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.